What's up? What's up? What's going on, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers? It's your boy Porter Rock 77. Let me make sure everything is good on here. All right. Yo, yo, yo. Another impromptu live broadcast. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having, had a good weekend and stuff. But we're doing it live, you know what I'm saying? Man, what an interesting week this has been. I want to say shout out to the chat. Thank you so much for rocking out with me. If you don't mind, hit the like button. And if you don't mind, copy and paste the link to your favorite social media. YouTube is on some funny stuff now. Now that when you hit the like button, it doesn't automatically, spread across different social media platforms, which is weird. I don't know why YouTube is doing that, but it's crazy. Clarissa, yeah, me and the wife, we about to head out. We're gonna head out and check out Captain Marvel. We see all the Marvel movies, but let me go down to the chat. Sage, what's up? Rich of Cucumber, was good. Robert, what's up? Barry D, was good. DI Almighty, you know what I'm saying? Niz Action was good. Theodore Bergman, MK, you know what I'm saying? Craig Harris was good. Frogs Dope Gaming, what's up? Let's see, go on. Jilliam, what's up? And Roman Knight, Jamie, Simply Deep, Sam Ash, Ephraim was good. Efrain Gonzalez, Dedicated Service, Ken Van, MC Leonidas, Savage, what's up? Clarissa, of course. Thank you all for rocking out. Lionel B was good. You know what I'm saying? El Matador, what's up? Tamiko was good. DRP, Ice Queen Gaming, you know what I'm saying? Lou, you know what I'm saying, was good. And who else we got? Triple JJJ, you know what I'm saying? Sickness was good, John. Damn, everybody's rocking out. The chat's filling up. I'm glad you're able to spend a little time with me. I hope this is a good time, for the European audience too. I understand, you know what I'm saying? Believe me, here in Germany, I understand it's rough. Everybody focuses on, American time zone. It's rough trying to stay up for a podcast. So I hope this ain't too late for some of y'all. It's not gonna take long, Lincoln Clay was good. Mike Hunter, Ruben. I'm glad everybody. John Feliciano. I'm glad everybody's here, man. The Nuba Gamings. Aurelius. Mike Hunter. I'm at everybody. Rooster. Appreciate it. Again, spread it out through your social media if you don't mind. Hit the like button. I would truly appreciate it, so we can have this conversation. Something that popped up in my head. El Matador, Demon Souls remake incoming. Que lo que? Oh, please don't tease me like that. Do not tease me. A Demon Souls remake, that would be a day one. That right there would be that's pre-order. That's instant pre-order. You ain't even got to do a preview. You ain't even got to show me. You know what I'm saying? Just make the announcement and it's done. But anyway, man, appreciate everybody. I hear that getting opening day tickets in Germany is difficult. Well, it depends where you go. I know there's whatchamacallit. Out here, there's a international theater that I go to near around where I'm at. So they play everything in the original English voice. So far, I've been having, it's been pretty cool. I guess I didn't have an issue with it. But anyway, let's go straight to the point because I don't want to belay the point. All right. So as you see the title. And again, Almaro, thank you for the super chat. All right, okay, Almano, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this right. Okay, we're gonna do a little grown conversation. All right. So we got 87 people watching. Hit the like button again. Retweet this out. Facebook it. Whatever you do, right? In fact, that's stuff I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Wherever, Google Plus, or whatever's your favorite platform, if you don't mind. All right, so we can have this conversation. But anyway. So as you can see the title, gamers upset over losing exclusives, in general, okay? Is it simply just fanboying? Or is there a level of consumer concern or, consumer self-interest? Because again, selfish hobby, right? Is it just simply fanboying? Is it just simply being a fanboy? Is it just simply you're more concerned about going on social media, talking trash, partaking in the console war and all that stuff, all part of the banter that we do, the talking trash, trying to make people feel stupid, bad, the things that's going on. Is it really just that? Or is there actual consumers, you know what I'm saying? Actual people who don't like this because as a consumer, this is not in their best interest. And that's the conversation we're gonna have. Is there something that people can say, as a consumer, this doesn't give me the most bang for the buck. This decision is not something that is in my best interest as a consumer of video games, right? Or a particular product, right? So we're gonna go down the line. So what are we talking about? So just to recap, recently, there's rumors of Xbox Game Pass and games going to Nintendo. And there's a deeper, more conversational push that Microsoft is truly attempting to put their games everywhere on every platform, right? I said this, oh my God, for how long now? 2 years? I said this on multiple podcasts. And this happened so long ago, people just called me a fanboy thinking I'm just talking trash. I'm trying to troll. I'm trying to antagonize people. I'm trying to start some trash talking, that I'm just saying nonsense, just a fanboy, right? And now, this is what's hilarious is, now it seems like everybody knew. You notice that? Everybody knew this was happening. Everybody had this on the polls. Oh, who didn't know about this? And I'm thinking, where the hell were y'all 2 years ago when everybody was calling me a fanboy by me saying this? I say I was a fanboy. Now all of a sudden everybody was all up on cue. So anyway, so that's what's happening. Okay, now again, it's still only rumors, but here's the thing. The fact that Microsoft has not gone out to control the narrative, to tell people, hey, all this stuff about putting out games on Nintendo is not true. Even Nintendo's not going out there saying, hey, there's no Microsoft games coming to our platform. Nobody's denying all these rumors. And you would think this would be one of the few rumors that a company, if it wasn't true or had no merit, that they would put a stop to it. You know what I'm saying? Because it involves other companies and how their games go. Like even Nintendo. If people start going, oh man, I could play Halo on Nintendo, you would think if that rumor wasn't true or didn't have any form of merit, you would think Nintendo would say something. But like, hey, there is no plans of having Microsoft games on our platform. Because, that kind of messes everything up on what they're trying to do if it wasn't true. Does that make sense? If Microsoft games is not part of the Nintendo strategy, then Nintendo themselves would be like, hey, this is not our strategy. Don't expect to have xCloud or these type of things, This is what we're doing with our platform, So I think everybody's pretty much on the road that, hey, this is happening. We're gonna get Microsoft's gonna go game everywhere, right? With that said, with that acceptance, with that where people realize, you know what, it's happening. You have many different opinions now over this, right? You got people who are looking forward to it, right? Ruben Burke, thank you for the super chat. Much love to the other side. Thoughts on Sony losing Quantic Dream to a third-party publisher? Is it a sign of Sony focusing on fewer games per year? Let's address that. Because, of course, so I'm going to hit that point. When Sean Layden said fewer games per year, he's saying fewer, less games to focus on the bigger games. In other words, less knack to ensure you get more The Last of Us type games, So less titles that don't really do much, which I'm 50-50 on agreeing, because you never really know when a little title's going to blow up big. You understand what I'm saying? Not every game, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes there's a few gems here and there. But what Sony doesn't want is to create any more knack type titles. No more knacks. No more of these little weird games or whatever, smaller games. The focus is on pushing big blockbuster game of the year worthy titles. That's why he's trying to push. He doesn't want these studios to push out smaller developed titles or whatever. No more. Every studio is going to be focusing on a big project, a big project, vice trying to push out 2 or 3 smaller projects. And that's what he's talking about, right? So now, Xbox games, go into everything. Everyone's pretty much accepted this. Got different emotions behind it. You got people looking forward to it. They're like, oh man, I could play Xbox wherever I go. I could play not anything. It's options. Okay. That's the positive side. Those are the people that will always look at the glass half full, no matter what, right? Okay. Then you got the people, the Xbox gamers who are upset. They feel this is a terrible move. They don't like it. Of course, some of them use hyperboles, such as betrayed or waste of time. They felt that they got the wrong product, all this stuff. Of course, the initial reaction wound up Penguin. Well, welcome aboard. I'm glad you're able to catch me live, man. Hope you enjoyed the live broadcast. People react to those who feel this way as the instant answer. Oh, you're a fanboy. You just want a console war. You know what I'm saying? Why would you care that somebody else plays the game? Stop being a fanboy. Stop being toxic. All right? And I don't think people understand these group of gamers on why they're all so upset. So I'm going to explain to you. Yes, you have people who are upset because, they're losing, for lack of a better description, ammunition in the console war. But there are legitimate consumers, Xbox gamers, who, from a consumer standpoint, they feel they're getting ripped off. And I thought about this, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go live because I can see that this is not about console war for them. This is, from a consumer standpoint, a raw, shitty deal for them. And I'm going to explain that right now. Okay? So, how is this, how can being upset over losing exclusives being played on other platforms, right? Something that you personally don't like, without it being considered console fanboying or console warring, right? So number one, everybody immediately says, well, this is the best strategy because this is how Microsoft makes money and that's all they care about, making money. True statement. But just because that statement is true doesn't mean that the consumer has to align and care as much as what Microsoft's goal. At the end of the day, the consumer cares about their own self-interest, ultimately, right? It's what they get out of the deal. So how is exclusives going to another platform? Let's say it's true, it goes to Nintendo and PlayStation. So that way, we could fully understand what I'm talking about. Let's say it goes to PlayStation and Nintendo, right? How does that impact? How does, let's say, Halo, Gears going to Nintendo and PlayStation impact the Xbox gamer? They still get to play. So being upset that more gamers get to play Halo, right, is just console warring, right? Well, I don't agree with that statement. I think there are legitimate consumers who are not console fanboys see this as a raw deal. I see it as a raw deal, and this is why. It's not so much that somebody else is playing Halo. That's not really the problem. The problem is that they don't get to play the other games. It's a one-way deal. It's a one-way street. Halo's going to other platforms, but the exclusives from the other platforms doesn't come to them. So while everybody else gets to play Halo, the Xbox gamers doesn't get to play God of War. And yet they spend the same amount of money, if not more, buying a device. Nintendo owners pay $300 for their device. PlayStation gamers pay $400 for their device. And Xbox gamers paid $500 for their device. Yet, the $500 that you pay for the Xbox, you're only getting Halo, Gears, baiting pretty much the Microsoft games. Yet the $400 the PlayStation gamers paid, not only are they getting the PlayStation games, which is designed for PlayStation, which is what it is, but now they're getting Microsoft games too. So you understand now Nintendo, same for them. They still get their games, the Mario, Zeldas, and Metroids and whatever, but now they add Microsoft games to their portfolio. So for $300 on the Switch, they get Nintendo Microsoft games. For $400, I'm talking about launch console pricing, whatever, all right? For $400, PlayStation gamers get PlayStation, Sony, and Microsoft games. But for $500, Xbox gamers only get Microsoft games. That's not a fair value between the three parties. This is why some Xbox gamers feel gypped. They're paying the same amount of money for their console, just like everybody else, but they get less games for it. They don't get Sony games. They don't get Nintendo games, but everybody else get Microsoft games. So what did they get for their $400 or $500? This is the scenario they don't like. They bought their console. See, when the gen started, right? Well, when Xbox started, period. Back in 2001, it was a dedicated console with exclusives. Then the 360 came about. Again, same philosophy. Dedicated console with exclusives. And then when Xbox One started out this gen, despite the terrible E3, despite the terrible launch, despite the talk of always online, despite a forced camera connect, which made the console expensive, $500, and the Kinect was pretty much useless. In fact, they don't even make it no more for consoles. The Xbox gamers, many Xbox gamers, right, still chose Xbox because at the start of the gen, they had a belief that the console was going to be about the games. Because, Xbox started out strong, attempting to release AAA titles. Rise, Forza, Halo, Master Chief Collection. Some games flop, some games is good, Killer Instinct, but they were trying. They kept pushing AAA titles. While in the beginning, Sony while they were ramping up their stuff, a lot of it was smaller Japanese titles, a lot more indies, and multi-plat marketing deals. They made a few AAA games in the beginning. You got Bloodborne, you had Infamous in the beginning, Killzone, you got a few here and there, but Sony was in the works of ramping up. While Microsoft came out the gate trying to push AAA titles. Again, some flop, some good. Titanfall, it was a mixed bag. But you saw the attempt the first 2-3 years with Xbox. You saw something. You saw them pushing AAA after AAA. Big budget titles, that was their attempt. So people bought the Xbox because of that, because it was about the games. So they're like, okay, we see Xbox. We see them pushing a lot of AAA games. Again, some good, some bad, but we see the effort. PlayStation, not so hot right now. A little bit of sparse. So I'm going to go with Xbox. So they pay $500. And they're getting the AAA games. Again, some good, some bad, personal taste, mixed bag, whatever. Right? Microsoft was selling, and even Phil Spencer talked about this. Play the games. We're pushing about the games. We're pushing exclusives. So that's what they believed in. So they bought a console based on that belief. We're going to get exclusives on Microsoft, on Xbox. Then all of a sudden, Microsoft announces 3 years after launch, or they what they did was they put games on PC, starting with Quantum Break. And then already, Xbox gamers are like, okay, what the hell? What's going on here? You put this on PC? But then over time, they said to themselves, you know what? Fine. It's on PC. It's on Microsoft OS. And plus, PC is really expensive. I'm not interested in PC. So Xbox, between Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo, the console exclusives, this is where console exclusives became really big. I'm still good. Because ultimately, I was never interested. PC was never, for many of them, part of the equation. You know what I mean? It was never a factor for them anyway, because they were never going to get a PC no matter what. The choices of devices for them was either, a Nintendo device, a PlayStation device, or an Xbox, console. That's it. It was just that. And out of those choices, they chose Xbox. So then they got, they moved on. They didn't really care that the games were going to PC because PC was never a choice for them in the first place, right? But now the games potentially could go on consoles. This changes everything for them. Because if they knew then what they knew now, if you told them 2019? So damn, 6 years ago, if you told them a little over 5 years ago, before they bought their Xbox One, that, hey, these games are going to go on PlayStation and Nintendo anyway. So do you really need do you really want to buy this Xbox One? Do you really want to pay $500 for a forced camera and all this stuff? when ultimately you're going to be able to play these games on another platform. Oh, and that platform has exclusives. Do you really want to buy an Xbox One? Some of them would have not chosen an Xbox One. Some of them, if they knew then what they knew now, they would have never bought the Xbox One because they would not be missing out on games. That's why they're not happy, because they feel they're not getting the true value for their dollar. You know, if this ends up actually happening, Nintendo gamers bought their platform, they still get the Nintendo games, but they got Microsoft games. PlayStation got their fans got their console, they got PlayStation games, right? God of War, The Last of Us, Uncharted. They're about to get Death Stranding, The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima. Oh, and now they get Halo on top of that. And then the Xbox gamers look at themselves. They look in their room. They don't see God of War. They don't see Mario. They don't see The Last of Us. They don't see Super Smash Bros. Brawl. They don't see any of these games. The games they see is the same games that potentially PlayStation gamers and Nintendo gamers get to play. So they're like, so what did Xbox gamers get for $400, $500? They paid the same amount of money that PlayStation gamers paid. They've paid the same amount of money, if not more, than what Nintendo gamers paid, but they get a lot less in return because the games on Nintendo and PlayStation are not reciprocating. Sony and Nintendo don't have the same energy as Microsoft. You know, Nintendo and Sony didn't come out, oh shit, Microsoft, you putting games on our shit? Oh man, you know, we're gonna be the good guys too. We're gonna put our shit on Xbox because we're all friends here. We're all good friends, and we want Xbox gamers to play our games. They're not doing that. They're not. Microsoft's putting their games on every platform, but nobody's hooking up Microsoft. Which in turn, no one's hooking up the Xbox gamers. A lot of these Xbox gamers, from a consumer standpoint, feel gypped. Everybody else gets to enjoy this stuff, but they don't get to enjoy everybody else's stuff. It's a one-way relationship. And that's how they feel. If they knew this was going to happen, a lot less people would have bought an Xbox One, and they just would have bought a Switch or a PlayStation. Especially if they bought an Xbox over the last 6 months. Those are the ones that are probably more pissed off than anybody else. They're like, man, I just bought the damn thing, and you're telling me I could have gotten me a PlayStation and eventually played these games too? Or a Nintendo Switch? Some of them would have been like, damn, this sucks. Some people recently upgraded to an Xbox One X, and now they realize, holy cow, the hell I upgraded for? It's an actual consumer concern for those who buy console because of games. Now, there's people where this philosophy of Microsoft putting games everywhere doesn't impact them because, and this is weird to me, but again, to each their own, games is not the number one priority. To them, the number one priority could be the network. Maybe they trust Xbox Live more than Nintendo Switch and PSN. Maybe they want the most powerful console and they feel Xbox will always be the most powerful console. So maybe that's a concern. Maybe that's their priority. This one I could understand. They're friends. I get that. That to me is a legitimate one, right? Because it doesn't matter if you can play Halo on PlayStation, if all your friends that you've known for years still getting Xbox and still playing Halo and Call of Duty on there, then why would you move over to PlayStation when all your friends and peeps that you always play with are not there with you? It doesn't make PlayStation or Nintendo Switch appealing when your peeps is not there. You enjoy the social aspect of gaming. Jay Hart had to throw something in the collection plate. Thank you so much. The Church of Puerto Rico appreciates. You know, may Kratos bless your soul. So those reasons, and I think those people look at like the Xbox gamers that are more into power, which to me, I'll be honest, is kind of weird because they only had power since November 2017. So what were they doing the first 4 years? But anyway, that's another conversation, right? But The Xbox gamers that enjoy power, the Xbox gamers that do it for the social aspect, or the Xbox gamers, they do it because they trust Xbox Live over any other network. They see the Xbox gamers that doing it for the games as weirdos or console warring fanboys. They're not seeing it from their perspective that, hey, they're not console warring. They just feel they're not getting the most bang for their bucks. Again, it's not about other people playing Halo. It's the fact that they can't play Mario. That the only way they can play Mario or the only way they could play The Last of Us is if they have to buy the console. So as a primary Xbox gamer, in order to play Mario, Halo, and Uncharted, you have to, you already have your Xbox, but now you have to buy a Switch and you have to buy a PlayStation. So you got 3 consoles. As compared to, let's say, a Nintendo gamer who wants to play Halo, Mario, and Uncharted. Well, they already own the Switch, so they got the Mario. The Switch is getting Xbox games, so no need for an Xbox. All they gotta do is buy PlayStation. So to get Halo, Uncharted, Mario, just buy a PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. And the same thing for the PlayStation gamer. All they gotta do is buy a PlayStation Switch. So if you're a PlayStation gamer or a Nintendo gamer, you only need 2 platforms to get everything. All right? All you need is 2 platforms. A Nintendo and PlayStation. El Matador. The Japanese people won't need to buy an Xbox no more. To be honest, they weren't really buying it in the first place. I think we all cleared that up. You know what I'm saying? Kind of cleared that up. But think about it. PlayStation gamers and Nintendo gamers, they just need the other console. A Nintendo and a PlayStation. If this all happens, which most likely is a possibility, Nintendo and PlayStation is all you need. And you'll have your PlayStation games, your Nintendo games, and Xbox games. If you're a primary Xbox dude and you want to do the same thing, you need to buy a Nintendo platform and you need to buy a PlayStation platform. So you have to spend more money to get the same amount of games. A lot, or I ain't gonna use the word a lot, you have Xbox console gamers that feel they're not getting the bang for their buck as compared to PlayStation gamers and Nintendo gamers. That's ultimately their issue. It's not so much console warring. It has nothing to do with that. They're actually concerned about their own dollar. Imagine next gen, PlayStation 5, Xbox Anaconda, and the next Nintendo platform, whatever. They're now looking at the Xbox Anaconda like, okay, so you got this $500 device, but your games is on the PlayStation 5. Or let's say, if this all happens, why would they spend $500 on an Xbox knowing that they'll get the same games on another device plus more games? I mean, when you think about it, if you stick with Xbox, you're actually buying a platform that gets less games than its competitors. By Microsoft putting their games on other platforms, you are actually choosing less games if you stick with Xbox. Now, again, this will be fine for many Xbox gamers who primarily choose Xbox because of the network, social gaming, or if Xbox Anaconda ends up being the most powerful console, the power. So they're fine with that. But the ones who are all about the games and want the most amount of games, the most bang for their buck for gaming, doesn't make sense to do this. And they're pissed that they've been put in this situation because they invested so much into the Xbox platform based on what Microsoft initially had views. Xbox was always a platform with exclusives for its console. And that's what a lot of gamers bought the Xbox. They bought the OG, they bought the 360, and they bought the Xbox One based on that belief. By Microsoft completely switching their strategy, these gamers look back at their financial investment like, what the hell did we put our money towards? Because again, putting games on every other platform benefits all the other platform holders, while they get nothing in return. They're not getting Mario. They're not getting Uncharted. So what are they getting? Being the hardcore, being the Microsoft supporters, being the Xbox supporters, Xbox Live every year. Some of them feel they got shitted on as a consumer, as a group of people that bought Xbox, supported Xbox, bought the games, paid for Live, and rocked out on that platform with the belief that, hey, the reason why I chose this platform is because of the games, and Microsoft will keep pushing the games. But with a snap of a finger, Microsoft Thanos themselves and put everything everywhere. And now these gamers that chose Xbox for the dedication behind it felt they got shitted on. Many of them are honestly saying they should have just went with PlayStation. Because in the end, it would have led to the same road. They eventually would have gotten Xbox games if Microsoft goes through with this. And that's the whole spiel. Sure, you got people that are doing this for console warning. But that doesn't mean everyone's doing it for console warning. Many have legitimate consumer concerns because at the end of the day, you are spending your money on this product. Again, $500 for an Xbox that plays Microsoft games in third party, or $500 for a PlayStation game, for a PlayStation console that plays PlayStation games, third party, and Microsoft games. Same price, but a lot more content. If you choose Xbox, a lot less content. A lot of gamers ain't cool with that. They're not cool with paying the same amount of money and getting less in terms of games. You choose Nintendo, same scenario. You know? That's ultimately the issue. That is ultimately their point of view. So yes, I recognize both ultimately. To wrap this up, I recognize both. I recognize people are doing this for console war, but guess what? Ain't nobody getting hurt. So why you got people on Twitter console warring, talking trash? Nobody's getting hurt over this, right? No one's getting fired, whatever. All right. It's the weirdos who are doxing or doing racist stuff. There's the ones that are annoying. But if people just popping trash, they're just popping trash, right? So you got that group. No big deal, whatever, right? If you don't like reading it, just ignore them, block them, mute them, whatever, right? But the people that are trying to talk from a consumer standpoint, as a fan of the product, as people who put lots of money into this product, they have legitimate gripes at this decision. And it doesn't matter if this is what makes Microsoft more money. They're not concerned about Microsoft all that money. They're looking at it from their own self perspective. What did I pay for? What am I getting out of this? And the way they see it, they're not getting as much as the next gamer next to them. These Xbox gamers feel they're not getting the same amount of content as PlayStation gamers and as Nintendo gamers. Because Nintendo PlayStation gamers, again, they're getting they could potentially get Microsoft games. Yet the Xbox gamers, they're not getting PlayStation Nintendo games. And that's not fair. They're not seeing that, they see that as that's not a fair trade-off. They feel like they're getting gypped. Taco, thank you for the $2 euro. Netflix got 117 million subs, but MS reaching for 2 billion. Man, yeah, that's already, yeah. I agree with you completely. Mike, I said that on Twitter. Microsoft is not getting no 2 billion gamers. That's insane. All right. Just look at Spotify. If there were anything else, if there's anybody out there, what's up, Trey BK? What's good, Emmanuel? If there's anybody out there that honestly believes Microsoft gonna get 2 billion gamers, let me point something out real quick. Spotify has 500 million subscribers. They don't even have a billion, let alone 2 billion. And keep in mind, Spotify is a free app that is literally everywhere. It's on every phone. It's on every device. It's on Amazon Fire Sticks, Roku boxes, TVs. The Spotify app is on every single device imaginable. Tablets to even watches. It's on everything. And it's absolutely free. and you don't need high bandwidth internet. Simple 3G network, you're good. You get to listen to free music on literally any device available, even watches. You're not going to be playing Xbox games on smartwatches on a 3G network. That ain't happening. Yet, Spotify, you can do that. And yet, Spotify's at 500 million. Xbox, Microsoft, no gaming company is going to reach 2 billion gamers on their own. They may be 2 billion gamers, but it is dissected among so many different categories of gaming. You have your console gamers, you got your PC gamers, and you got your mobile gamers. And then you got the little bullshit, ROM community. You have so many different fragmented communities. Yeah, together as a whole, we could be potentially 2 billion, but there is no 2 billion in one specific area. Microsoft's not going to get 2 billion gamers. Never will. That ain't happening. So you just give up on that. It's a silly notion. They might get more gamers compared to sticking with Xbox. They might have a bigger reach, more subscribers, more active users. That's more potential because the Xbox One is not reaching the audience that they want to reach. But 2 billion gamers? Shit. That ain't happening. That's a pipe dream. All right. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this live broadcast. Hit up the comment section. Let me know what you think. I gave my points on how I can see that this is actually, there's potential that consumers do have concern over this. Let me know what you think. All right. Hit up the comment section. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. If this is the first time you're catching my podcast or the first time I'm on my channel, please subscribe. And stay tuned for more content. Anyway, this is your boy Puerto Rock 77. You all have a good night, and I'm out of here. Peace.